Hello, my name is Allie, and in this short video we're going to be reviewing the payments in the left-hand navigation, and that includes both the payments page as well as the batches page. So let's go ahead and jump in. So on the payments page, this is where you'll see all of the transactions that have taken place on our gateway. And so what that means is anything in MX6 or on our API. So for the reference code, you have a hyperlink here. You can click into that, and I'll show you that in just a second, where you can get additional information on each one of these payments. We've got the transaction type, whether that's the sale or the refund. Tender, so this will show you whether it was card, cash, or check, and then if card, what type of card number or what type of card was used, as well as the last four of the card number. The amount and the status, whether that's approved, declined, or voided. The authorization code, so that's only on card transactions. Date and time stamp, an invoice number, so this is system generated, but if you entered your own, then that would show up here. And then a customer name if you had a customer associated with that payment. So while we're on here, before I click into this reference number, I also just want to mention that we have the item count, so that's how many line items you have down here, as well as the total. So it's going ahead and calculating all of this for you. So it's just like as if you were going to export this on an Excel sheet. It's doing all of these calculations for you already. Up here at the top, we have a search bar, so you can search on the reference number, the authorization code, the PO number, which is the invoice number, or the customer name. And then you can also use that separate or in conjunction with the filter here, so you can drill down on any additional information if you're looking for a payment. Another nice thing about the filter is that you can save as defaults. So if you don't want to have to keep coming in here and changing these filters, you can make the necessary changes, and then you can go ahead and save as default. So every time you come into this page, it'll already be loaded with your preferences. All right, so let's go back over here and click into one of these reference numbers so we can see a little bit more about this payment. So here we just get a general gist of the payment. This is a lot of the same information you saw on this page back here. However, at the bottom, we have the ability to void since it hasn't been settled yet, or refund if it had been settled, and the ability to send additional receipts. And that can be sent either email, text, or print. Another nice thing is we've got the team member here, so we can see which person that was logging in had actually taken this payment. Under the advanced, this is additional information that you may have entered during your QuickPay transaction. And history will capture any time that the receipt was printed, if the sale was approved, once it's settled, if there was any voids associated with this, or refund, etc. You would see all of that here. And then for the loss prevention settings, this is telling you whether you had it turned on to check your security code, postal code, and street address. If you did, you would see that response here, whether it was approved or if it didn't match. Okay. So we've covered everything on the payments. Let's jump over to the batches now. So here on the batches tab, you can see the batch number, and then you get this nice green icon if it's still an open batch. The tender type, whether it was card, cash, or check. And then you have the count and the totals for sales, refunds, net, and then you have your net amount and the open and close date and timestamp. So again, before I jump into a payment, just another reference up here at the top. We've got the line item count as well as the totals, so it's doing it all for you. You've got the batch search if you need to, and another filter over here. And one thing I didn't mention over on the payments tab, but it is certainly available on both batches and payments, is this export button. So if you needed to get this out into a CSV or an Excel, you just click on that button right there. So now let's jump into an open batch so you can see what that looks like. Here we've got the summary, so it's the same summary you saw on the previous page with the sales, refunds, and net amount. You do have the open date and time stamp and the status. And then since this is a card batch, you can get the breakdown of exactly what types of cards are in here with the count and the exact total. So we can close the batch manually, and this would then tell us who closed it and the date and time stamp that it was closed. However, if you're using auto close, that will also work, so this would automatically be closed at whatever time you had set in your settings. So again, you can scroll down here and look at all those individual payments, and if you needed more information on a payment, you could click on the reference number just as we did on the Payments tab. So that's all for this video. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and look forward to your next video.